Hey there, want a fun fact? Have you ever noticed that there's still a lot of people out there that think autism is what they see on TV or what is portrayed in popular media? Yes, you maybe haven't seen it much, yet it's still out there for others to see. Autism isn't a monolith, everybody. So here's the 10 most obvious myths out there regarding autistic people that is false, and most people with autism don't completely fit into them. Number 1. Autistic people have no social life. That is absolutely not true. Because it's like, we're not the same. We are different, like everybody else. Some of us are going to have a higher tolerance for certain environmental stimuli, and some people will not. Some autistic people love to talk to everybody. They are full-blown social for 3 days straight, and then boom, have a 10-day burnout. Some just want to be alone and talk to nobody. Some have a lot of friends, some have none, and some have a select few they talk to. And it's okay, because if one knows thyself, they will have a happy life. Number 2. Autistic people cannot drive. We cannot have jobs or have a career. Regardless of what popular media has told you, it's another false assumption to make. There are plenty of autistic people who drive. They aren't just gonna pull down their window and advertise to the world like, "Hey everybody, I'm autistic and I love driving my car." That's not reality, and nobody does that in real life. So why do people expect autistic people to do that? It doesn't make any sense. Let's move on. Let's talk about jobs, careers, and autistic people. There are plenty of autistic people who are employed, make 60 grand a year, and pay their taxes like everybody else. There are autistic people who have successful careers, yet they don't tell anybody about their diagnosis because, well, of serious social stigma regarding autistic people that still exists to this day. Please always keep an open mind about us. You never know, your friend who can afford a yacht probably is autistic himself, yet he has no interest to tell anybody about it. And that is fine, because at the end of the day, we all must resort to what works for us. Period. Number 3. Autism affects only straight white males. Once again, that is totally false. Autism and Asperger syndrome exist in many groups of people, from Black people to Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, Middle Easterners, Jews, etc., to women and girls. Gasp! Who would have thunk it? It's very important to think outside the box and understand that everybody in the autism community is not the same. No matter what TV or the media tells you, don't believe it. Number 4. This one is quite common and super obnoxious, so bear with me. All autistic people work in tech and they're great at computers. Hold up. I can't even code C++ on a computer. I can't even design a website from code. I don't even know how to work all those complex algorithms, so does that make me less autistic or something? It doesn't make any sense. There are plenty of autistic people that work in different industries, like the medical industry, the culinary industry, the entertainment industry. There are plenty of autistic people that are content creators. There are plenty of those that do art and design and innovation. So why is nobody talking about people in those industries? Oh, that's right. A narrative has to be pushed. Many companies practice typecasting, which is expecting autistic people to fit certain roles. If you're unaware of what the term typecasting is, let me explain to you. You know when you watch a TV show or a movie and you see a certain individual from a certain demographic get the same roles over and over again? Well, my friends, that is called typecasting. And that is very common when it comes to autism and job recruitment. A lot of people are very codependent on the mainstream media's portrayal of autistic people. While it might be convenient for many, it is not beneficial to autistic people. It's quite tiresome, and it's super obvious when you're an autistic person and you're going to like a job fair and then like there's a tech booth that's like advertising to autistic people, and I think to myself, I'm autistic and I can't even code C++. It's very important not to be codependent on stereotypes and what mainstream media portrays to you, because unfortunately it does more harm than good. So please always have an open mind that autistic people work in many different fields, and believe me, we are very talented at what we do, so don't always make assumptions based on what you see in mainstream media. Number 5. Autistic people cannot have sex, get married, have relationships, or have children. That is so ridiculous, and it's purely false. Autistic people love sex. There are plenty who date, plenty who have children, and get married. It is so ridiculous. People live in this illusion of stereotypes. It doesn't define us as individuals. Always know that autistic people are capable of having hormones and sexual desires like everybody else. Period. Nobody likes to be stereotyped in society. So, my question is, why does society continue on to habitually stereotype autistic people when we have pleaded them to stop? Well, let's go figure this mystery out. What many people don't understand is that autism stereotyping can have lasting long-term ramifications and effects that are harmful for autistic people long-term. While there is some type of progress towards autism acceptance in society, predominantly in the Western world and so forth, many autistic people still feel pathologized, criminalized, antagonized, and stigmatized by society. Mainstream media's portrayal of autism and Asperger syndrome isn't helping either. When it comes to the popular portrayal of autism and Asperger syndrome, there seems to be this repeated trope played out over and over again when it comes to television shows and movies that focus on individuals who live with autism and Asperger syndrome. It's always this straight white male character who is socially awkward, he's very talented in the maths and sciences, he's a walking human computer, but he can never comprehend deeper human connection or romance. Many people don't think much of it, however, these tropes eventually dehumanize us, to the point that autistic people are nothing more than a bunch of walking cartoon caricatures instead of individuals who are beneficial members of society with full potential to offer something wonderful to the world they live in. Resources on autism research and representation of non-white autistic people is scarce. There's still stigma and prejudices regarding autism care and services for non-white autistic people. Many non-white autistic people get diagnosed later than their white counterparts, and black and brown autistic people are given overdiagnoses in behavioral disorders instead of the proper diagnosis that they deserve. While also Asian autistic people are shunned, ostracized, and never given proper diagnosis to avoid social stigma and shame within their cultures. Because of the perpetual spread of misinformation and the willful ignorance many non-autistic people do, many autistic people suffer from real-life repercussions of the actions from others. Many autistic people eventually develop self-esteem issues, become isolated, develop alcohol and drug addictions. Worse, many eventually commit suicide. The chronic codependence on the medical model for autism and automatic assumption of incompetence regarding people living with the condition are partially to blame for why autistic people still struggle to this day. However, there are still plenty of options to change the course on how social relationships and societal relationships with non-autistic people and autistic people relate to one another, as well as bettering social relationships, as well as societal relationships between the two. Number 1. Support autism content creators, autistic researchers, doctors, scientists, and average autistic people. We have a lot of knowledge and perspectives regarding autism and how autistic people are individuals with imperfections like everybody else. However, they strive to do better and bring something beneficial to the world. Despite the adversity that society puts us through, we are an extremely resilient demographic, and nothing can stop us, period. Number 2. Please actually spend time with real autistic people, talk to us, communicate with us in real life, and stop being so lazy. When you don't put effort into understanding an autistic person's point of view and you don't even try to see us as individuals, it reinforces our suspicions and lack of trust within non-autistic people because we start to realize that non-autistic people don't care about us. So how are autistic people supposed to have good relationships with non-autistic people if there's no communication between us? And please don't get me started with people who pretend to be autistic on social media for clout and attention. Neurodivergent rebel, I'm talking about people like you. My disability is not a costume you can wear when it's a convenience for you. So always remember, when you talk to real autistic people, we will convince you we're like everybody else. We have the same needs, wants, and desires like everybody else. So never judge. You would be surprised. You would learn something very different and very unique and very helpful from somebody who has autism. Don't let popular media convince you or persuade you that autistic people are what you see on TV, because it is absolutely false. Think for yourself and you will benefit from this. Number 3. Assume our competence always. Our condition doesn't make us automatically incompetent when it comes to understanding the world around us, nor does it make it impossible for us to accomplish tasks that are difficult. We are a hardworking, determined, creative, and innovative people. We can offer great solutions and showcase many impressive talents. If anybody can give us the chance to showcase our greatest potential, there will be progress, and the relationships between autistic and non-autistic people will skyrocket into something better than ever imagined. Number 4. Read articles and research papers written by actually autistic people. They live with that condition every single day, so it would make sense to read something from somebody who lives with something like autism every single day of their life. So wouldn't it make sense to read articles from somebody who lives with the condition every single day of their life? I think so. So always support autism researchers and people that know autism better than anybody else. Number 5. Please stop being codependent on mainstream media's portrayal of autistic people. You being intentionally lazy and refusing to put effort into understanding the autistic community and what autistic people are about is only holding yourself back in the progress of autistic people. So do what you're supposed to do. Turn off the TV and mainstream media. Get to talk to real autistic people and who we are. We are more than a television stereotype that you have seen on the TV for far too long. Don't forget to follow me on social media. It's in the description box on the bottom. And also, do whatever you want to do, because at the end of the day, you are the master of your own destiny. So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you next time.